Hello, Neil Murphy here at the Dynamic Man podcast. And today we're going to be talking about something that us guys sometimes we really struggle with, our emotions, and how we keep a cap on them or how do we control them. Because we've all been in a situation where a woman maybe has, our partner has maybe messed with our heads, pushed our buttons, looking for a reaction, and of course we take it literally and we overreact. And that's when we get ourselves in trouble. Now, we've all heard that expression, happy wife equals a happy life. But that doesn't really add up. A few years back, I worked with a guy in Ireland who was celebrating his 40th wedding anniversary. I was like, wow, congratulations, man. How did you do it? And he said, well, I'd say for at least 25 years of that, we didn't even talk. So how is that a happy life? Emotional control. I have to say, I am not entirely blameless for this. I've overreacted too many times in my life. And usually, I remember one time my partner said to me, where's the man I met? I mean, she might as well have taken a wrecking ball to my nuts. That really hit home. So yeah, we have to take stock of the fact that we're dealing with emotional creatures. They speak from emotion, they live with emotion, they deal with emotion, they come from emotion. Perhaps the best analogy I got really was that women are the ocean and men are ships. And we're trying to navigate on that ocean. So we're basically at the whim and the mercy of the ocean. So we've got to show that we have the capacity to regulate our emotions, to control our emotions, and not to react in any given situation. Now, that takes discipline. It really does. It's probably the ultimate discipline for us men, because we do like to resolve situations. We do like to apply logic and fix a problem, solve an issue. But more often than not, our women, they're not looking for a solution. They're not looking for you to fix them. They're just looking. They just want to be heard. They just want to know that it's safe for them to be emotional in your presence, to get things off their chest. And they want you to show them that you have the resilience and the power, the energy, the vibrations not to react. So yeah, they're testing you. They're constantly testing us. And look, to be honest, I was constantly failing. Because there does come a point in a relationship where you let your guard down. And you stop being the one that's trying to make a good impression. The honeymoon period. So there comes a point. There really does come a point where you have to maintain the control over your emotions. to show a woman that you're a rock, to show a woman that you're a rock on which she can depend. So what does it take? What does it take to regulate your emotions, to control your emotions? Awareness, being conscious of the fact that you're being tested. Because look, no one wants to be put on the spot. But when you're there, you've gotta have that emotional stability, the control, to show people around you that you've got the energy, you've got the awareness to withstand a storm, to take energy from a storm and give your woman, your partner, your wife, whatever it is, the belief that you have the power. And over time, look, she will stop testing you as much. She might do a bit of random testing, but that's okay because you've got the power. When you know how to regulate your emotions and not react, because she doesn't want you to react. That's just stirring the pot. It's the wrong thing. So, how do we go about it? That's a great question. Well, the first thing really is, look, you've got to think about it. You've got to listen. You've got to learn how to really listen. Listening to hear. Or maybe there's a bit of passive listening. I know my father used to look after my mother. She wasn't very well. She had MS, so he cared for her every day. And at the end of the day, I'd go for a drink with him to the pub, and he would rant in my ear. She said this, and she said that, and she did this, and wow. But I just let it in one ear and out the other. And then he'd go home, he'd have his couple of drinks, he'd go home, and they'd be up talking for another hour, laughing and joking and having a great old time. Because he got it off his chest. He didn't react. No, there's a lesson in that. We do need an outlet to get things off our chest, but that doesn't mean we have to get it off our chest in the presence of our woman or our partner. That's not what she wants. She wants her man to be a rock on which she can thrive. Bring out the best in her. Because if you can demonstrate to a woman that you've got the power to regulate your emotional responses, you will bring out the best in her. Just like my parents brought out the best in each other because they didn't react. So, awareness, listening, and taking a pause. There's power in the pause. Got to give yourselves 5 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever it is. Count backwards from 5 down to 1. That breaks the pattern. It interrupts the pattern for you. So you get a chance to actually think about how you can regulate your emotion, control your emotions in the moment. So you got to train yourself to just listen, be aware, and take a pause, take a moment. These things really help. And believe me, when you're not reacting, you're not making the situation worse. And think about that when your woman is going off on you, man. That's what she wants to see. She wants to see that you've got the powerful masculinity, not the toxic one, because the toxic one is the one that reacts with emotion. Look, we deal with things logically, so why do we get involved when it becomes emotional? We can't win. That's not our game. That's not our strength. That's not where our power lies. So we've got to apply the logic to control our emotions so that we can stand strong in the face of any storm from any one of our partners. Awareness, listening, and the power of the pause. That's where we show our strength. That's where we show our power. That's where we show our true masculinity. And that's what a woman wants from us. It's really as simple as that. So we've got to take the remote control to our emotions. We've got to take the remote control to our emotions and regulate them. You know, like we were out in the workshop, out in the shed, pottering around with our little tools, doing this, fixing that. It's the same thing with our emotions. We just got to tinker with them, fool around until we get the balance right and stop reacting. Awareness, listening, and a pause. That's where our power lies. And when you can regulate your emotions like this, the world is your oyster, man. There's no stopping you. There's no stopping us. And if that resonates with you, like and subscribe, and let's continue building a community of men in our 40s and 50s so that we grow strong together, regulate our emotions, and create a very powerful community so that we can all give back to the younger generations who really, really need our help.